Okay, continuing the Moy review problems with problem number 7. Problem number 7 says, which would be the best way to solve the following problem? Bianca and Catherine want to bake brownies for a bake sale. Each batch of brownies requires 1/3 cup of milk. If they have 2.5 pints of milk, how many batches of brownies can they make? First thing you need to notice here is that we're dealing with two different units, cups and pints. So let's make gallon guy. Actually, well, I'll make gallon guy, but I also want to talk about the star chart. 4 quarts in a gallon, 2 pints in each quart. No, it's not gallon guy, it's big G. And two cups per pint. I mean, if you use big G and you know how to build it, or if you use gallon guy and you know how to draw him, that will remind you of those conversions. But really, we should get used to using the star chart. I'm looking at mine right now, and where it says volume and capacity, it says 1 pint equals 2 cups, and that's what we need to start this problem. We're going to need to multiply this 2.5 pints times 2 to get the total number of cups before we can really do anything. Well, let's look at all the answer choices and see which one makes sense. The first answer choice A, it says divide 2.5 by 1/3. Well, we can't do that yet because we have different units, pints and cups. I mean, we do want to take the total amount of milk and divide it by 1/3 cup per batch to find out how many batches, but we can't do that until we have the same number of units. Okay, so next answer choice B says same thing, divide 2.5 by 1/3, because the milk is divided into portions that are 1/3 of a cup. If this was 2.5 cups and not 2.5 pints, this would be the right answer. But the correct answer in this case is answer choice C, because it says to multiply 2.5 times 2. That's what we need to do to find the number of cups, 5 cups. Then we take that 5 cups divided by 1/3 cup per batch to find the number of batches we can make. Okay, next problem, problem 8. Best Buy is having a going out of business sale. Darren wants to buy a flat screen TV for his room. The original price of the TV is $750. Everything in the store is discounted by 30%. The TV Darren wants is marked down an additional 30% off the discounted price. How much will Darren need to pay to buy the TV? So this one's pretty tricky. First thing we need to do is figure out the discounted price. It says everything in the store is discounted by 30%. So 30% of 750, 30% is 30 hundredths, or 0.30, 30 hundredths. Or if you think about moving the decimal 2 places to the left, 0.3. So 0.3 times 750 will tell us 30% of 750. We're multiplying by a decimal, we ignore the decimal, so it's like 750 times 3. Deal with the decimal at the end. 0 times 3 is 0, 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22. We have 0 decimal places here, 1 decimal place in this factor, so 0 plus 1, or 1 decimal place in our product. So $225 comes off that original price of $750. So $750 minus $225, need to borrow here. 10 minus 5 is 5, 4 minus 2 is 2, and 7 minus 2 is 5. So $525 is the discounted price. But he gets an additional 30% off of the discounted price. So again, we need to find 30% of 525, or 0.3 times 525. Do it over here. 525 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 5 times 3 is 15. 0 decimal places in this factor. 1 decimal place in this factor, so 1 decimal place in our product. So $157.50 is subtracted from the discounted price right here. When you're subtracting decimals, line up the decimals. So I need to, 0 minus 0 is 0, I need to borrow here. 10 minus 5 is 5, borrow here. 14 minus 7 is 7, borrow. 11 minus 5 is 6, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So $367.50 is the sale price after discounting the discounted price. Okay, we'll pick up with the next problem on the next video.